got expelled. We're doing this thing called Disney Candlelight at Disney World, which is basically a bunch of high schools come together and they sing Christmas songs. And I thought it would be funny to brain my buddies. Braining it. You just take out and you squeeze it so it looks like a brain. The Orlando Police Department shows up. And then, so I get expelled from high school and I have a lifetime ban from Disney World.
Here we are on beautiful Jones Street.
You saw Ted Jones.
Sponsored by Stock L Dreamery, the most delicious vegan cheese on the market. We got original smoked paprika and chili, garlic and herbs, and I'll tell you what, guys, this is the best vegan cheese you'll have. Don't forget the cheddar melt. Enjoy the episode.
Bro, well, we got a lot to talk about. You're a theater kid. You're a comedian.
Did you already start?
Yeah, we already started here. That water's for you.
Oh, you're too kind.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, get that New York City tap. Does
I love
Chicago?
the setup,
dude, thank you. Does Chicago have good tap water?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just like, well, I know you were going down to Florida tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to Florida tomorrow.
And that place doesn't have good tap.
Why not?
I don't know.
I'm from Florida. I thought it was
Oh.
tap.
No, dude. You can't during the middle of the night. Hello. There you are.
Hello.
Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
You can't put your head under the water in the middle of the night and drink that tap. Can you? You've done it?
Did it my whole life. Maybe that's why I'm an idiot.
The fluoride got to your brain.
Oh, I thought fluoride was good for you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what the government's saying. How much extra battery does this have?
A lot, dude. I
Oh
just
my
got the bigger version. I know it's fucking hefty, dude. Well, because my phone is broken right now, so I can only do the mag charger.
Is that your girl?
That's my girl. That's
She's
my
very
lady.
pretty. What do you
Thank
mean
so much.
mag charger?
The magnet, the port is broken, and so my phone is messed up, so it loses charge so fast. So I'm charging all day.
and
You know
what
what I
does
mean?
that have, like 200% or something?
Yeah, it has like 2+ charges.
So what are you going to do about your phone? I'm surprised that...
I just need a new one. Here's the thing. I don't know.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that it's messed up and it's not cracked. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes. Well, I need a new phone, but I'm still on mommy and daddy's phone plan.
Isn't everyone?
Everyone, dude,
just
because it's a family plan.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
it's
like
cheaper.
Yes, I feel like the only time you
Sorry,
you
excuse,
change plan is like when you
When you
get
have your own
married.
family. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We were on AT&T, now we're on Verizon. They don't like Verizon, looking to switch, so I have to wait to get a new phone.
That's a nightmare switching
I know.
networks. I've heard.
I know.
I don't know if I've ever done it, or maybe yeah. Well, in the past, I probably used T-Mobile when I had like that little flip phone.
Oh yeah.
Before even the flip phone, actually, when we just had the thing that was like this big, and then you just type in didn't even have Snake on it.
Yes,
I don't know
I
if
know
you're
the
familiar with that one.
Nokia.
Yeah.
Yes. My
that?
issue now is like who like if you're not on Verizon or AT&T or possibly like who's on Cricket?
I don't know, but I think Metro PCS maybe is just like the. Yeah, I don't know, because phone plans are seemingly pretty affordable these days. Like everybody has a cell
Yes.
phone. I don't know what type of plan, but like I see some people with the Droid.
Yeah.
Eddie Brady with the Droid. He's giving me shit for having an iPhone. I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Dude, I hate when people are like, you got to get the Android. The Android camera is better. I'm like, you're worried about your phone. And then when they send it to an iPhone, it looks like shit. So it doesn't matter if the camera's better.
It's really crazy how the iPhone, I mean, they're switching things every 6 months, it feels like, but how inclusive they've made the phone community. You know what I mean? Everyone like gets the ick when you get that green text.
Dude, if I ever met a lady and text green, I can't be with you.
Yeah.
Can't be with you.
And then also, so I got the 15. I had an upgrade or
Do you
whatever,
like it?
as they say. I mean, dude, it's the same shit.
It's the same
But
shit.
the only thing is now I can't charge my phone anywhere, which is a nightmare,
Does it have a new port?
bro. The
Oh.
my computer. So the only charger I have now is just a little hook for my computer, a little tail. Like I don't even have one in my bedroom anymore. And if I went anywhere, you know, I mean, the 15, did it just come out? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like the newest one. I think.
But I can't charge my phone, and then my the laptop cord is different. So like, and if I'm traveling anywhere, if I'm going to Florida, I got to bring 3 different cords. The Apple Pro ones, that's another cord. I need to travel with 3 cords, bro.
That is insane. I will say I'm traveling tomorrow, and my mom got me this present for something. I forget what, and I'm actually pumped to use it. So you know when you're on an airplane and you can't use your AirPods because they don't have a plug-in.
Oh yeah, I saw that they now have a plug into the thing.
They do
It's
have
like a
plug-
dongle.
Yes, but my mom got me. It's like a thing you plug into that port, and it's a Bluetooth So you plug it into the port and it Bluetooths to your AirPods.
I wonder why those, or maybe I understand why those airplane headphones are so bad. It's because they're for single use and they don't want to spend a lot of money on it.
Absolutely.
I guess it makes sense.
I will say, I don't know about you. Anytime I watch a movie on a plane, always cry. Always cry.
The altitude?
Maybe.
What are you watching? Like The Notebook?
Dude, I've always
So you're a theater kid too.
I'm a big crier. Yeah. I will say I'm a big crier.
Yeah.
But dude, lately my plane movie has been Crazy Rich Asians. And
you cry in that movie?
Oh,
I don't know if I've ever seen it really.
Oh, it's a great movie. Gotta watch Crazy Rich Asians.
I'll cry at like a sadder type of like deep movie like that. Like maybe like Rudy. You ever see Rudy?
Oh,
Inspirational.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I finally got his term.
So, and then it makes me want to, that's when it's like, maybe I should just go back and play college football at 27 years old. I'm 27. Maybe I go enroll in college.
So where did you go to college, by the way?
I went to Illinois Wesleyan University.
Oh, I think we talked about that briefly.
Yeah. Where'd you go? Oh, no. You went to UConn for tennis.
Yes.
I listened.
But Illinois Wesleyan, they had programs that were really good in certain areas.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's actually a really, I wasn't looking for a smart school, but it's actually a really smart school. But I went for musical theater. They have a good program. So I was just looking for programs. You know what I mean?
What did your musical theater college experience look like? Did you do like 4 plays a year or?
Yeah, it was a lot of that. You know what it was? Believe it or not, it's actually a very difficult major just because of time. It's kind of like playing a sport where you're like practicing all day. Cause you have classes all day and then you go rehearse. Mm-hmm. You have like rehearsal if you're in a show. So you're going from, 9 to 10 p.m.
And you have to, oh my God, you have to memorize so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like on top of the science, you have to memorize your sides and everything and like placement on stage.
Yeah. And then it's what they do is like each class is like is worth like 1 credit or whatever. I'm just making this up, but you get it. So like a normal, like all my buds who were like business majors, they have like 4 credits a semester. But in order for us, we have to take a certain number of acting, voice, and dance. And so what they did is they made each dance class 0.25.
Oh
so you'd have to load up on 4 because you have to get, so my major, if you break it down in credits, it's a double major with a minor. So it's actually like very rigorous in terms of workload, but it's, please don't get me wrong. I understand. Like if you're like pre-med, that's way more important than what I do. But time-wise, difficult major, believe it or not.
So you grew up in Florida. And then went to college in Illinois.
Wanted to get out.
Why do you have so many connections though in Chicago? Like comedy wise and stuff. Do you live there after college?
No, my girlfriend lives there. Oh. My girlfriend lives there, so I visit a lot. And whenever I go, I do like it was like this was so random. I met one guy here in the city who was visiting from Chicago.
Popping us in?
Yeah.
What flavor is that? No,
Cinnamon.
I've never done it.
You can't do it if you've never done it.
Especially first time on the pod.
Throw up on the pod.
Wait, but did you ever smoke cigarettes or no?
No, dude. People use these to get off of nicotine. I'm trying to get on nicotine.
I've heard it's really good for focus.
It's great for focus. It's great for focus.
Jordan Peterson talks about that.
Andrew Huberman is who got me on.
Andrew Huberman too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
AH got me on it, and it can prevent Alzheimer's. Now I will say I'm.
Wait. Yeah. You're putting in a Zyn and chewing gum?
I was about to, and then I realized I don't want to on the mic. So
right. Wow, nice. Okay.
But
very self-aware. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. So my girlfriend lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I met some guy here who was just like visiting one time. Just randomly met him at like a show. And we were like hitting it off. And he was like, "Yo, dude, anytime you're in Chicago, let me know. I run a show." And next time I went to visit my lady, I did his show, met 3 people who they ran a show. Next time I went, I did 5 shows. Next time I went, I did 10. Now I do however many shows I want, which is lovely. It's a great scene out there.
Yeah.
I'm only there. I'm doing, I think this is actually a small trip for me. I'm doing 9 shows in 5 days.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
But you're going to Florida, I thought.
Going to Florida, then Chicago.
Where in Florida are you going?
Fort Lauderdale.
It's great to get down there for just a few days. It's just such a different environment than New York.
Yes.
It's slow. It's too slow for me.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm from New York, so anytime I really go anywhere else,
so it's too slow for you.
Yeah,
See,
really
I
slow.
like the slow because here it makes me feel like I'm doing something because I'm constantly moving, working. Yes, but I don't like it. I'm always anxious. You know what I mean? So it's good for where I need to be right now and what I'm doing right now. But I don't know if I could like raise a kid here. I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, well, I think your girlfriend grew up in the suburbs too.
Yeah, she's from middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Well, once you experience that, it's like, how could you give up the lawn and the house and the community and neighborhood to live in a square box where you don't even know your neighbors and don't have any grass. I understand that.
Yeah.
But growing up and living here and experience what I experienced and growing up so fast and knowing so many different types of people, I'm like, I would think on the opposite kind of end of the spectrum where I'd be like, well, I don't want to go out there and not know as many different types of people, see the bright lights and the cities and the concrete. But I mean, I get it. I get it from both sides, just because you want to be on the grass. You want to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
You want to have a community of people that you know and can trust, with your kids.
I miss like the very simple things, which is dumb of me. I miss like hopping in a car and going to Target.
You driving, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like just like anywhere is 10 minutes around you.
Yeah, and I hate that.
That's crazy.
Like, dude, like when I go to LA, I'm like, why can't everything just be in one?
Oh, well,
one
LA
block?
is terrible when you're driving to Target for 2 hours.
Right. I mean,
that's terrible.
You go to the CVS, then if you're buying weed, you got to go to another 2 miles. Then if you go groceries, and then by the time you're doing all that, you got in the car at 12 p.m. It's now 4 p.m.
Yeah.
When
I
in
don't
New
like
York,
that.
dude, I can go around the corner and get all that done in 20 minutes.
Dude, I will say I got this set up right now because I'm always on the go. I don't cook much. I like to cook. But what I'm doing,
I'm
I
a
rarely
preparer, as they say. It's like I think my dad may have made up that phrase. Instead of cooking, I'm a preparer. Like I'll take the chickpeas and beans, put it in a bowl, put on hot sauce, and I'm good.
Oh, dude, well, my thing, every meal right now is at the bodega.
Okay.
So right now, if you walk out my front door, the first thing you see is a food town. Right next to it is where I do my laundry. Right next to it is my pharmacy. Right next to it is my bodega.
That's New York City living, brother.
And so I literally it's crazy. I go, and every time I'm in the bodega, I go 3 times a day. And so each guy who's working at each time of day, they know what meal I come and get, and I just get the same thing every day. I'm very creature of habit. I like the same thing every day.
Kind of like that
so
too.
I walk in every single night after we're like doing shows downtown. I go home at 10, 11. I walk into the bodega. A guy looks at me, goes, salad? I go, same salad. And then he just makes me my salad. And they're my best friends. I don't know their names. They're my best friends.
Do you like that being it's so different from where you grew up? And how long have you experienced that for? When did you move to New York?
So I moved here I graduated 2018 and I was booked jobs through the end of the year. So I moved here top 2019 here for a year and then, in and out for a year because of jobs, like theater jobs. And then 2020 hit. When COVID hit, left, I got so lucky. I was in an apartment on 38th and 9th. It was a great spot because I would just walk to auditions every day in Midtown.
Yeah.
And I got so lucky I was on a month-to-month sublet. And so I was on a month-to-month and COVID hit and I was like, I'm leaving, I'm done. And the guy was like, I don't blame you. So I didn't have to pay for any. I paid one last month and I just left, which was sick. So then I went home to Florida because they were talking about shutting down domestic travel right when it hit. You know what I mean? Yeah, which was wild. And so my girlfriend was in Chicago. I was here. And we both flew to Florida. We're like, 2-week vacation in Florida. That's what everyone thought. 2-week vacation in the sun. It was in March. I was getting so tan. Doing push-ups.
Staying healthy.
Yeah, exactly. And so we did that. And then it ended up being months. And then we went to Indiana to see her family for months. And then we were in a studio in Chicago for like a couple months. I worked at a gym. And then the second theater came back is when I just moved back here. I booked my first job from Chicago, but it was in South Carolina because there was no COVID there. You know what I mean? So I worked that job and I was like, theater's back. So it was summer 21, I moved back here. And so I've been here summer 21 since.
And you and your girl went to college together?
No, we met on a job doing Mamma Mia the musical.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Where was that play?
That one was upstate New York. That was in Cortland, New York.
Were you two like the like
love
romantic?
interest, yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing, dude. That's got to be such a great way to meet a partner. But at the same time, if like I had a girlfriend who was doing theater and then she met like a guy like you in the love interest,
she had a boyfriend. She had a boyfriend. She's very respectful. She never ever crossed any line. It was.
I mean, but bro, it's sometimes hard not to cross the line. Like if there's a makeout scene or sex scene.
Well, it's one of those things that like we never spoke about it just because we were very friendly, just chilling friends, super good friends. But I'm not a dick like that. Like I'm not going to cross that line. You have a boyfriend, do your thing. I was actually hooking up with another girl in the cast because I was single. I was single. She had a boyfriend, whatever. And then unspoken, I think we took out some of that pent up energy on stage every night. You know what I mean? Poor kid had to come see the show. That was the first time I felt so bad for the kid because he met me, dude. And I genuinely felt so badly because I could tell how uncomfortable he was because he wouldn't look me in the eye. I was like, hi, nice to meet you, man. I'm Jeffrey. And he looked around my head. He was like, nice to meet you. Like he couldn't meet me.
The circle.
Which is so hard. And she's kissed other guys in shows. I don't like those guys, obviously.
Still, is she doing that? Well, yeah, she's an actress, right?
Yeah, I mean, same. She's had to see me do that same role 2 more times. She's had to see me make out with 2 girls in the same role, dude. I've done Mamma Mia 4 times.
And then, wait, where was that again? I know I asked. I've just forgot.
That was upstate New York.
Okay. And how long did you live in upstate New York for? What part?
No, it wasn't.
Don't touch that too much. You're making the.
Oh, I'm so sorry
You're
about
good,
that.
you're
Yeah, for sure. That one was just, I was probably on that contract. I did 2 shows up there, so that was a couple months.
Where in upstate New York?
Portland.
Oi.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was just mostly do the show, go back to your apartment.
Oh yeah, you do nothing. All of these
on.
contracts are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, you and I were talking briefly the other day. Was it yesterday? Maybe about union contracts and such.
Yes, 2 days ago. Yes, we were talking about that.
And what would sign a contract for those 2 months of working? What did that entail? They paid for housing, food, and on top of that, or
they
what?
house you and they pay you weekly. Sometimes they do food, sometimes they don't. It just depends. But it's really just like housing. You go do the show. This is like the theater hub where every theater in the country comes here to audition. And then they audition everyone. Thousands of people go to these auditions. And then hopefully you book a job. And then they fly you wherever. So like my last one was in Kansas City, which actually was have you ever been to Kansas City?
No.
Great city. I didn't know if I'd like it.
How long were you there for?
That one was a short one. I was there for like month and a half. That one was short. Next one is in Auburn, New York. Going to do Jersey Boys in the Finger Lakes.
Man, that was a great show when I saw it on Broadway.
Yeah.
Frankie Valli.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Tommy DeVito.
Is that one of the bigger roles?
Yeah, it's one of the 4 guys. It's it's kind of like
one of the Jersey Boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
What's
in
one of those
sparkly
songs?
Jacket.
Forget what's like one of the main songs.
It's I mean the main one that everyone knows is Frankie's Sherry baby Sherry.
Yeah, insane. What a voice.
Yeah, crazy.
I've recently gotten into Elvis.
Dude,
listening to some Elvis songs.
Did you see the movie?
No,
I didn't. I saw 5 minutes of it and I hated it. I hated the editing of it.
the one with
Austin Butler.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie also, I feel like they just jumped into it too quick.
Yeah,
and I was
it
like,
was
all
the
right,
cuts.
well, I can't even. Yeah. It was
couldn't do
edited
that.
weirdly, and I think now with our brains wired differently, we're kind of liking different style of edits, and like when you put a reel on Instagram, you got to grab everyone's attention in a quarter of a second,
which is so annoying. But
yeah,
it's so true.
It is, but as opposed to a movie, you are sitting there, you're in the theater, you're going to be there locked in for 2.5 hours. You already spent $20. You can wait 10 minutes to know even remotely what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's so different.
What does your day-to-day look like right now? There's a reason I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, I do TEDJONESWORLD full time.
Yeah.
I worked in real estate for 6.5 years. I've been doing this full time in May for 3 years.
Sick.
But I'm either filming something, writing something, or editing something every day.
Constantly.
Every day.
So are you just in front of a screen every day right now?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part.
The reason I ask is my screen time out the wazoo.
That's everyone's though. Everyone, I mean, it would be, I feel like you can't be part of today's society on any sort of media if you're under like 6 hours a day.
So true.
You know what I mean?
Well, right now I don't have like a day job because I work contract to contract. So when I'm here, I'm only doing stand up. And so, we're waiting all day. I go to the gym and then I'm like waiting to go do stand up. So like my morning time is just me on my phone for hours. And then I go to the gym and then I come home a couple hours and then I go do stand up. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm not doing much unless I have auditions.
How would that affect you? Like, if it were to come to the point where you're working every single night doing, 3 to 4 spots in stand up, would you put off your theater gigs or how would that look like?
That's kind of what I'm going through right now is I'm so lucky. I'm so very lucky to be like a working actor. I understand my privilege. I'm so fucking lucky. Cool if I curse. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought. I just want to make
Too
sure.
late.
Bleep it. Yeah. So I do that, but it's now that I'm like kind of gaining traction here a little bit more, like slowly but surely, that's what the grind is. I'm like, after my last one, I was like, oh, I want to be here for a few months. So I stopped auditioning for a while, focus on this for a little bit. Money starts going down. You see that, you're like, oh, I need to start auditioning again. And then for me, I'm a union guy, so that's how I get my insurance and stuff. And insurance,
you have to work a certain amount of
weeks.
Okay.
It's a number of weeks
Yeah.
for X amount of months of insurance. So then it was like the new year. New year is like that January through March is kind of like heavy audition season. So I've been auditioning a bunch. So I have like 2 contracts lined up. Next month, I'm just going to do a concert in Virginia.
How long is that?
That's short. That's just a concert, not even a show. So I'm going to be like a week and a half. But you know, a little bit of money, a little bit of whatever.
Yeah.
And then I come back for a month or 2, and then I go to Jersey Boys' all summer.
All summer.
It's actually pretty short. It's like a month and a half, and I leave in May.
How do you feel about that?
It's hard because, I mean, I don't need to tell you, but stand-up is all FaceTime. It's all FaceTime. And so if you're not showing face all the time, it's just, you're out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? Nobody's thinking about you if you're not there every single night showing face. So it's difficult. It's very difficult for me. But I don't know. I'm just trying to see how the cookie crumbles right now. You know what I mean? It's hard because I love stand-up and I love acting. Those are like my 2 things. I wish I loved one of them more, because then I just quit the other one. I just quit and go full time, but I love them both equally so much. And so it's one of those things. I actually would love to start doing a little bit more road stuff for stand-up, just get face out there, more clips, more whatever.
Well, and I think also in these markets that you're in, would it be difficult to, it would probably be also, it would be difficult to do stand-up as well, because you're doing those shows at night and you're doing the matinees and you're focused so much time on
very hard. Sometimes on a couple contracts, I've been able to do 1 or 2 shows at night during the rehearsal process, because you're going from like 10 to 6. So if I know someone in the scene, I could be like, hey, can you throw me up this night? I only have this night off. You know what I mean? And theater, the only day off you get in theater is Mondays. No Monday shows in these scenes, you know? So like in Kansas City, when I did Legally Blonde out there during the rehearsal process.
Tight.
Yeah, it was sick. During the rehearsal process, I got to go do, I did like the Don't Tell out there, which was sick. It was great, but I could only do 1 show, 1 night, 1 time. You know what I mean?
over like the 6-week period.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is.
So that's very annoying, but it's nice because you get to meet some of the people out there. So now if I ever go out there, I can do the Don't Tell whenever. It's kind of like what I do with Chicago. Anytime I go back, I hit up the boys I know, or the gals I know.
Yeah.
And, you know, they throw me up in their show, which is super nice.
So your experience growing up in Florida, did you play sports or were you doing theater for the most part?
No, I didn't decide on theater until late. I was going to go to college to play football.
No
I was going
way.
to go to college to play football.
What school?
A bunch of schools were looking at me.
Bro.
It was I was a kicker punter.
I could see that. Yeah, you get that leg up.
Very scrawny guy. Very little scrawny guy. It was when I stopped playing football that I was like, oh, I need to work out to just like do something with my body.
Yeah.
So in college, I gained like 45 pounds.
Oh my God.
I started working out. I graduated high school like 6'1", 150 maybe. And then I grew 2 inches in college. I left college like 6'3", 200.
What high school did you go to?
This is where the pod gets good, everyone. Tune in for more. So I went to a university school, which is a really good football program. Like we won state.
Oh, it's called university school?
Yeah, it's like Nova Southeastern University, which is a college. It's like a school kind of attached
Like
to
a
it.
charter-ish
Kind of,
school.
sort of. Private school, good school. And then my junior year, I got expelled. From school. So then my parents sent me to the nearby Jewish day school for a year and a half. So I graduated from David Posnack, which is a Jewish day school there. But a lot of kicking and punting is, it's not the thing about kicking and punting in football. It's not so much about game time, because it's, you only get X amount of kicks. Maybe you kick 1 field goal, stuff like that. So it's a lot of camps. So I was still going to camps and stuff like that. So schools were still looking at me. But I got expelled from high school. So I graduated from David Posnack. But the school that anyone, if they knew a high school down there, it would be university school.
What'd you do?
Yeah. So this is, I don't know. I don't have a bit on this yet because it's so long that I don't know how to talk about it yet. But it's a fun story. It was the day after we won state. So get this.
Wait, what's state in Florida?
Yeah. We were like I know like tons of guys in the league. I know like tons. Yeah. I know like people, everyone I played with went D1, couple in the league. Like I know lots of crazy MFers. Yeah, they're crazy. So what happened is I'm in Fort Lauderdale. We're in Fort Lauderdale. It was like Friday or Saturday. We drive up to Orlando for states, win states, drive back down to Fort Lauderdale. The next morning we have a choir trip. I'm in the chorus. I'm in the choir in school. Drive back up to Orlando because we're singing this thing. We're doing this thing called Disney Candlelight at Disney World, which is basically a bunch of high schools come together and they sing Christmas songs for this Disney Christmas spectacular type of thing, right? So me and my buds were rehearsing to go on. We're on Disney property, but we're not like in Disney. We're like backstage in like this big tent rehearsing these like Christmas songs. So stupid. We're in these long green like gown robes, you know, and holding candles. And me and my buds are messing around. We're 16. And what I did was a very 16-year-old thing. Still crushes to this day. And I thought it would be funny through the shiny robe to brain my buddies. Braining it. You just take out your balls and you squeeze it so it looks like a brain.
Was that like right around the time Waiting came out? You know that movie?
Waiting? No.
You ever hear about that movie?
No.
And then like the bat wing and the goat.
Yes, and you like sit in gum.
Yeah. That was like an early Ryan Reynolds movie where they were like a waiting staff and they always would like do jokes like that. Oh, so I think that's what made it more popular.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that. Yes. And so my buddies, I show my buddies the brain. They start cackling because we're all 16, whatever. Some girls from another high school heard them laughing, turned around, saw my balls, told Disney. Disney called the Orlando Police Department on me.
God.
So the Orlando Police Department shows up. And this is here's the thing. I hate cops, not for the normal reason people hate cops, dude. They were dicks to me. Like literally
Their brains,
dude. I think I'm going to jail. I think I'm going to prison because they wanted to arrest me and take me for the night, but I like didn't give them a statement because my dad's a lawyer, so I was on the phone with him. He said like just don't say anything, stuff like that. But this cop the whole time he's like, yeah, you probably fucking whipped out your dick too, but it was too small for them to see, huh, pussy? Like and I'm 16, I'm sobbing. I think my life is over. I'm sobbing. It is the worst day of my life, Ted. It is like I'm sobbing. And I'm like, no, I didn't even whip it out. They would have seen it if I whipped it. Like, I'm sobbing. And then, so I get expelled from high school and I have a lifetime ban from Disney World. And wait, it gets better, dude. So then I go into theater. I know God loves to play jokes because nobody wants to hire me more than Disney. I have a personal relationship with the head casting director of the theater department of Disney, Mark Catlett. Shout out Mark. And he would always call me in for everything. He wanted me to come be, they do, you know, the musicals at the park. Not the guy who stands around, but the one in the musical. He wanted me to be Gaston and Beauty and the Beast in the musical at Disney in the park. And I would always like skirt his callbacks. I would never go to the callbacks. I'd like come up with an excuse because I'm not allowed in Disney and I'm not going to tell this guy, you know? And I cannot make this up, dude. He calls me, let's call it like March 9th, 2020. He calls me March 9th, 2020, around those days.
Is that like 10 years later?
Yeah, this is like, a long time later.
8-10 years later.
Yeah, this is a long time later. And so he calls me March 9th, 2020, and he goes, dude, I'm coming into town next week. I want you to come in for these callbacks. I'm just going to send you straight to callbacks.
Where's into town? Fort Lauderdale?
No, in New York. I'm here. I'm like a professional actor already, you know, doing the thing. And he calls me, and I've never gone to his callback because I'm not allowed at Disney World. And he caught me at a time where like I had just woken up, so I was just tired enough, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I go, Mark, I bet you've noticed that I haven't ever come to a callback. And he goes, I've taken note. And I go, do you have a minute for a story? He goes, hit me. He goes, and I go, I bet you haven't heard this one before. And I tell him the story. And this is, dude, he goes, I haven't heard that one before, but you'd be surprised what I have heard. Hangs up, COVID hit. I haven't seen him, haven't talked to him since. So now I have no idea if I'm banned or not from Disney World because he goes, I'll take care of it. And I haven't talked to him since.
In 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah. And I don't want to work for Disney. I don't want to do that. So it's not a big deal. But now I literally have no idea if I'm banned or not because of COVID.
So you're thinking if you showed up on like Disney World premise, you get arrested?
I have a trespass warrant. So if I'm caught in Disney World, immediately arrested. and they have my fingerprints and everything. And I don't know if you know this, but if you go to Disney, I think I'd be able to get in, but you have to fingerprint to get into the parks.
No, you know.
Yeah, you have to fingerprint. So I don't think that like an alarm would go off or anything, but it's not worth the risk of me going and potentially getting arrested.
So this kind of skirted your career.
Yes, not really, because I never really wanted to. I never
not even
wanted to work
not the Disney World part. Maybe the football part, right?
Dude, get this. It was the day after we won states. So I'm a state champion in football and I don't have a ring. I never got a ring because I was expelled from school right after we won.
What year was that? Junior year?
That was my junior year.
What kind of schools were looking at you or giving you attention at that particular time?
I was talking to like UCF, TCU, yeah, a couple like bigger schools. But then they didn't like know about it. Nobody asked me about it. It's whatever. Cause then it was my senior year and I was still looking at schools, and that's when I was like,
but that's when you transferred to the Jewish state school.
Yeah. And so that's kind of when I started doing musicals in high school just because my sister did them. And I was like, this is kind of fun, whatever, get to make out with girls. That's literally how I got into it. I was like, oh, hanging out with girls all day, dude, is sick. And so I'm doing that.
I went to performing arts high school, by the way, professional children's school. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
You've never heard of professional children's school?
No. Is it?
It's 60th between Columbus and Amsterdam. It's like models, actors, singers, dancers.
What did you do?
I went there to play tennis because they were lenient on schedule. Like if I wanted to go to a tournament on Friday at 1 p.m., they just send me the homework.
That's sick,
that was like
dude.
The whole reason I went there.
And then who was recruiting you outside of UConn?
Indiana, a little bit. Rollins College a little bit.
In
BU,
Florida.
Yeah. BU. Dude, I was okay. I shouldn't have been going to a specialized school like that in New York, but I ended up playing, at UConn.
Yeah, D1. That was kind of my thing. I was good, but I didn't take it seriously enough. And then it was when like my parents were like, you got to decide on colleges, and I was like, I genuinely think I could have gone somewhere for football. Like schools were looking at me. I took a couple visits. But it was one of the, I'm like, I'm not trying to go to the league.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like, and then you have to wake up 5, 6 a.m. for workouts.
What was like the main thing that made you such a good, maybe punter or field goal kicker? And were there other people who you saw in Florida who you were like, all right, that guy's going to go pro? Like what makes you a really good kicker? I
think back then people did, I know this sounds so silly, but back then people didn't want to be the flexible guy. It was kind of like gay to be the flexible guy. And I just had like a really good extension. So my leg was hitting my face. You know what I mean? Like my knee was hitting my face mask in football.
Yeah.
And so that just came pretty naturally to me. And when I started playing football, I wanted to like really play football. My mom didn't want me getting hit too much. And my next door neighbor was a kicker. And so he took me to his kicking coach. And my mom was like, you could be a kicker. And that was in like middle school.
That's wild.
And then so I started doing that and I was like, oh, this is sick.
Did he play college, your neighbor?
Yeah, he went to UM. He went to University of Miami.
My God.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, like, dude, I know so many people.
Legit.
So many people in the league. I know kickers I know in the league.
Well, what about like people that maybe we'd know?
I'm trying to think of people who are in right now because a lot of them have already like gone out.
I was going to say, yeah, their career is probably 3 to 5 years.
Exactly.
Tops.
So like a couple people you might know. There was Jordan Scarlett. He was a running back for Carolina and for the Dolphins. I know the Wilson brothers. I think one of them they were both in the league. One of them I think is still on the Cardinals right now. I know like it's just like random guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like I don't know any like superstars. I don't know Tom Brady's.
Yeah.
But I know like guys who are on rosters. You know what I mean?
Are there anybody who has long lasting injuries or people that got injured in high school that you know about that still are affected by it?
Absolutely. Dude, there was a guy, get this. I know a guy who was a kicker. He went to Michigan State. I'm blanking on his name. It'll come to me. But dude, get this. He broke every single scoring record at Michigan State. He was the best kicker like in the country at Michigan State. And he made it to the league. He got drafted. Kickers never get drafted. He got drafted in like the last round. He made it, dude. But at Michigan State, he had a hip injury and they just kept putting it off. So every day he kicked, they would just like ice him up and wrap him up. They'd wrap up his hip. They'd have to like wrap up his leg like
even
this.
Walk. He's like waddling.
Literally. He made it to the league. He got drafted by the Colts. He's on the Colts. He made it. He's supposed to be somebody's like successor, you know?
Adam Vinatieri, maybe?
Yes, it was. It was Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri's successor. So the guy who's like one of the greatest kickers ever.
And then in training camp, he's like the best kicker in the nation. The hip finally pops.
It just went flying.
Literally. And they had to helicopter him out. And he had to go get surgery. And he literally couldn't play after. How crazy.
Did he get that? Go ahead.
Well, he just got cut from the team because it was like literally, it was like preseason or training camp or something.
So he got like his signing bonus, maybe like $100K, and then that was it.
And then he's gone. Crazy, dude.
Shit. Dude, these college sports, man, they're just abusing their players.
Oh,
like that.
they
That's
just
wild.
they pump you up with all the drugs.
Yeah,
all of
dude,
them are
cortisone.
roided out of their minds too.
Who?
Oh, all of them. They all do the type of steroids where it's like it's not like the bodybuilding steroids, but it's the steroids that just like make your body like
like you
all the
can't feel it.
recovery.
Right,
You don't feel
right.
anything. The recovery is through the roof. They're all on like a little bit of test, so it's like not like a drug. It's not a drug, but it's not exactly.
Did anybody have like CTE though, like mental kind of issues?
I don't know if anyone with
and you don't know till you're dead.
Exactly. I don't know if anyone is like diagnosed, but I know some idiots, and I think it's
From football.
Oh, because they're.
Did
just
you ever see like
bashing their
massive
heads.
hits from them?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude. I know one kid I played high school ball with, dude. He ran off. He just knocked someone out so good, and he immediately ran off the sideline, ran off to the sideline. And we're all like, what's wrong? Like every coach is like, what's wrong? He goes, I hit him too hard. My contact came out. I can't see. And so they had to like end up a new contact and water it up and put it in and then send it back in. He literally was like, I didn't want to hit him too hard because every time I hit too hard, my contacts are flying out because this kid is just leading with his fucking head, dude.
Contacts falling
idiots,
out.
dude. They're idiots, dude.
What do you think the solution is for football in the future? Granted that the Super Bowl is becoming more viewed every single year.
It was the most viewed thing ever this year.
Well, in the United States, I think, because like sometimes, sometimes FIFA, the World Cup gets
yes,
I'm
talking
a lot more,
in
but
the
yeah,
US,
United
of
States.
course.
And the football stadiums are becoming more valuable. They're building more stadiums, more teams are expanding. Do you think that there's a solution to help us out?
I don't think so. Because it's
softer helmets or something.
Softer helmets, but it's they're starting to change rules, and people hate all the rule changes. How they like took away kickoffs this year. They made kickoffs closer, so every kickoff is through the back of the end zone, so nobody is returning it anymore because everyone was just lighting each other up on kickoff.
Yeah, dude, everyone's sprinting like you can't see the guy coming in.
That was my favorite thing on kickoff because I'm a kicker. Nobody's blocking me. I'm so skinny, but I loved hitting kids. And so literally like I would kick it off and I'd be running down and they'd all be doing their thing to like getting the guy. But there'd be one guy who's like near me and he's looking at the ball and I just come over and just lay. And I'm 150 pounds soaking wet and I'd be like, fucking killed it, dude.
And
everyone would be like, Keller hit him.
Too. Yeah. Did you ever play IMG?
No,
was that not around
it wasn't around yet. That's like the
for those
biggest.
of you who don't know, like the number one team and the number one program in every sport in the country.
Yes.
And they played Bishop Sycamore. Did you see that? It was a fake high school. They did a documentary
with a bunch of
on ESPN on it.
26-year-olds, and they all tore every ACL.
And they got killed by IMG,
murdered,
which is crazy
because they're all D1.
Yeah,
they're all D1.
You know, it's interesting because there's parents are either so for football or so against it, and in a situation where like your parents let you kick, I feel like that's so unique.
I've already decided I'm not letting my kids play football unless they want to kick. That's it. Because I'm like, there are so many other sports give you every same tool for life without a headbutt. You know what I mean?
It's very, very suburban.
Very suburban
football.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know any kids that play football.
Oh, really? Well,
none.
Also, New York is not a big football state like high school.
Yeah, the only school that has it is a school that I'm familiar with is Poly Prep. Maybe some schools at like Riverdale or Horace Mann, but that's a private school. They don't really have any competition or play that much.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
And playing Division III football is like a wild decision, in my opinion.
I went to a tiny school with Division III football, and they all thought they were hotshots, and we're like, you're just paying to play football because they don't give scholarships.
Oh my god!
They get like one T-shirt a year that says football on it.
Like
it's just
nice
like generic football.
Nike Pro underpants.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And then they give up their entire college experience to play D3 football, and then now they all work at fucking Chase Morgan or whatever.
I knew the punter kind of vaguely on UConn. He was a good punter.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now.
I feel terrible for that kid from
the guy who lost his hip, Michigan State.
him, but I'm trying to think of what college he went to. I forget what college, but Matt Arazia or whatever. He was the best. He won like the Lou Groza Award. Best.
What's that?
It's the best. It's the best punter award. He got drafted as a punter, which is insane because you don't waste a draft pick on a punter, dude. And then it came out that he was in like an SA situation, sexual assault situation in college. Got cut. He got drafted by the Bills. Best punter like ever, and then he got, obviously the Bills cut him when that came out.
And it wasn't true or something?
Wasn't true, and now he can't get back in the league. And he's the best punter that's like ever walked the face of.
Do you ever watch that show Blue Mountain State?
Oh, dude, I love Blue Mountain State. Dude, everyone
easily
thought
Alex Moran,
Thad,
everyone,
yes,
dude.
dude,
Such a good show.
The best. You know who I do know? Okay, you might know this actually from New York too. The best position in football is backup quarterback. That is actually
Alex Moran.
Yes, and do you remember he was on the Jets?
It's a great show, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt. On FX, if you guys have a chance. I don't know if it's. I don't even know what it's on anymore. But
Yeah, it's
Blue
on,
Mountain
like,
State had me dying laughing.
I genuinely,
when I was like 18 years old.
I think it's on Tubi now. Yeah.
Okay.
But do you remember the Jets play? I don't know if you're like how much you follow football, but there's a guy named Mike White. He was the backup. He's my high school quarterback.
Mike White.
He won he was the quarterback when we won state.
And he is
Now he's a backup for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's behind
He
Tua.
played a little bit for the Jets.
He played for the Jets.
Started for a little bit.
No, well
No?
It was someone got hurt. I think Zach Wilson got hurt. Mike White came in
And everyone was loving him, right?
because he won their like first game or whatever, and that jersey from that game is in like the NFL Hall of Fame because it was like the most. I don't remember. He threw for like the most yards or most touchdowns. Like I don't remember exactly what it was, but he like blew the game out the water and he crushed it. And now he has like a lifetime career as a backup because he's like so good as a backup. You know what I mean? He's like just good enough to crush as a backup.
You know, it's crazy how halfbacks really don't get as much love, but I guess I understand it because in terms of like contract payments compared to the quarterback, but the halfbacks just have such a short window,
life.
right? And
Yeah,
they can also
running
get
backs,
injured on
yeah.
any freaking play. What's the difference between a halfback and running back?
Well, they're all so fucking the same, dude. They're all the
Yeah.
same because now they used to have a fullback.
Yes.
Which
Mike
now-
Allstott.
Yes. There's only like one. I think the Niners still use
Like Frank Gore?
No, it's Cusack or something. I forget his name. But there's only a couple teams that still have a fullback because all they do is run in front of the running back and just like lay their body on the line to block for him. And now it's becoming more of a passing game, so people aren't using them too much. But they would just get lit up, dude. But the issue with running backs now is they want more money. But the difference between the short lifespan normally and the difference between like a backup running back and a good starting running back, the stats, like the tiniest incremental difference.
Right,
you know, if a star running back, they're
like
averaging
6.9 yards or 7.1.
exactly.
Right,
and so they want more money, but people are like, we don't need to give you more money. We just
Yeah.
put the backup in, and he averages 1 yard less.
That's true.
It's the
I've never
same
really
thing.
heard that argument.
Yeah, no, it's literally that's the big news point right now. Yeah, so it's a big deal. But yeah, we're big football guys. We're big sports
dude,
guys on
there
this
you go,
pod.
bro. We're talking about,
Yeah.
dude, we got a lot of topics that we've been talking about.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Did you play in any other sports in high school?
I played everything growing up,
Yeah.
but nothing like crazy. I went to tennis camp every summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was pretty good at tennis.
In Florida?
Yeah, pretty good at tennis. I played soccer, I played football, I played basketball, played baseball, played travel baseball for a while. It was when I hit high school. High school's kind of the time when they're like, choose a sport.
Yeah, definitely.
And so for me, it was between baseball and football. I was playing like travel baseball. It was pretty decent, but I was also like, I was a very, very athletic kid, but I'm a late bloomer. So I was always kind of tall, but very lanky, very skinny, very lanky. So it wasn't like I wasn't like a jacked kid doing anything special. You know what I mean? I was meant to do musical theater.
And comedy.
Yeah, I was meant to do musical theater and comedy.
where is that zin in your mouth right now? I can't see it.
Up here, upper deck.
But people, I thought they got. Right
Oh
there.
no, I go the side. I go side.
Can't even tell.
No, I can't even tell. It's great.
So you how often do you have the zins in?
Dude, I just started doing them and I like it right now, but I keep it. I thought it might be affecting my sleep a little bit because of their uppers. So now I stopped doing it at 3-4 p.m. So I only do like, a lot of people get addicted. I'm not addicted. I do like maybe 4-5 a day.
How much is that pack? How much does it cost?
$6-7.
And there are how many pouches in there?
15.
And that lasts you how long?
3 days, 4 days.
Jeez. So
Yeah.
it's like cheaper than coffee. Do you drink coffee?
I do. I'm trying to get bigger in coffee. I don't like the taste. Are you a coffee guy?
Yeah, I love black coffee.
See, I don't like the taste, but it's bad because I'm trying to do more coffee because I used to do energy drinks.
Ooh.
And that can't be good for you.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy how I'm like, I can't sleep and I'm chugging a Monster and throwing Zins in my mouth. And I'm like, I'm having trouble sleep. And then I like have to take a Xanax because I can't sleep. And I'm like,
okay.
interesting why I have so much anxiety.
Did you ever take a Adderall?
Yes, my whole life. And then
really?
I stopped
Still or
in,
no?
no, I stopped in 2016. And believe it or not, dude, I didn't know this until I stopped, but I think it was affecting my acting.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then so when I stopped, I think I became a better actor.
Maybe because it'll just like shut out your personality.
That's literally what it
That's
was.
when I took it for probably 7 or 8 years, and every time I took it, I was like a zombie. I hated it.
Yeah, dude, but by the time I was done, I don't know if this happened to you. I was on so like because you get accustomed to it, your body gets used to it. You
Yeah,
have
I
to
just
up
started
the
taking more
dosage.
and more and more.
Yeah, so I was on, but I don't know if this means anything to you, but I was on 60 milligrams extended release Vyvanse, which is like I was doing cocaine. I was doing cocaine, and that would just like level me out. And then when I stopped, apparently I stopped and I didn't tell anyone. And ever since, every doctor has been like, you could have killed yourself because you're supposed to like wean off of it. You know what I mean? And so they're like, I just stopped cold turkey.
Bro, I feel like no kid or whoever should be taking something that if you stop taking it, you'll die.
I could not agree
It's
more.
ridiculous.
It's crazy because I don't know.
And it was all our parents at that time. Like that's what they were being pushed on. Dude, I mean, every 5 years we learned that the previous 10 years we didn't know what we were doing.
Dude, it's
wild.
It's so true. It is so true, dude. And it's crazy how our parents just lived with it. Like everything I have, my dad has, but he just like everyone was like, stop being stupid. And then he had to like focus in on one thing.
Yeah.
And he just like now he's so laser focused on work because everyone just beat it into him that he had to do that. But he was, he has ADHD, OCD, all the same things I have, he gave to me. But it's just, that wasn't a real thing. And he
just learned to live with it.
Yeah, he was born in 55. They didn't know what ADHD was in 60. You know what I mean? That's it. It's crazy. Would you ever put your kids on anything?
I don't know. They would have to be nuts.
Yeah. Well, my parents were getting calls from school. That's
so
what
were my
happened.
parents. I guess that's true.
But also,
I don't know. I don't think so. I'd be like, let's figure it out. What are you eating? Are you having Fruit Loops for breakfast?
So true.
And then cheese and milk at lunch.
Are you gonna
and
have vegan
Cheetos
kids?
and I don't
Do you
know.
think?
Dude, I would think by the time my kids are in school, 5 or 6 or 7 years old, it's going to kind of lean towards not cheese, kids eating Oreos and Cheetos and Cheez-Its. I think we're becoming more health conscious.
I agree.
So I'd like to think that in the future, dude, like my diet was not good as a kid,
Terrible.
and like I could feel it after lunch. Like I always felt like shit. Even before I went vegan 6 or 7 years ago, anytime I had lunch, like in the office, even if it was a salad, I'd fall asleep at my desk looking at an Excel spreadsheet.
Very true.
So I think the diet really does have a lot to do with your mental clarity.
Can you date a woman who eats meat?
Yeah. I mean, bro, I haven't had a girlfriend in like 4.5 years. And that's like right around the time when I went vegan. I had this jaw surgery, pretty invasive jaw surgery, and that's what made me do it. So I don't know.
Can I ask what that was for? What happened?
I had TMJ.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a good story for you after.
And it was just like it changed my whole life. So for 3 months, I couldn't eat any chicken or chew on anything. So I kind of just switched to the soft foods and then cut out fish shortly after. And I did love sushi at a point in time, like California rolls, spicy tuna rolls. Yeah. But yeah, it was a life changer. What's your story?
No, it was just the first time I was having so dumb. I was in college. There was one time I was having sex with a girl, and I didn't know she had TMJ. She didn't tell me, and her jaw cracked all the time. And it was the first time that a girl had ever asked me to choke her, and so I'm choking this girl. And it was one of the, I didn't, the first time you're choking someone, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it. And so I'm choking her. Yeah, well, so I'm doing very lightly. And she's like, no, I want you to choke me out. That's I want you to choke me out. So I start choking this bitch. And all of a sudden her jaw cracks. I thought I cracked her neck. I thought I murdered her. I thought I snapped her neck in half. So I start freaking out. I jump off of her. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, what do we do? Are you okay? And literally I'm on the verge of tears. And she's like, no, dude, that was great. It was just my jaw cracked. Can you get back in? And I was like, I need a minute, lady. I need a minute. I thought I just murdered you.
Did she end up getting surgery for it?
No, she's a mom now.
She's just a cracker. That's wild. Yeah, a lot of people deal with it, but I went to my orthodontist for the first time in 10 years, and he showed me photos. And I had always kind of seen when I took regular pictures that my jaw was a little bit off.
Yes.
Not a lot, but
Just
a little bit.
yeah.
And we just went for it. I was
Yeah.
pretty open to doing it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was going to be such a process.
Yeah, but if it helped, it helped. If it was worth it now, it's worth it now.
Yeah, can't really feel my chin, but it's fine.
Like nerve damage, you can't feel it? Like skin?
Yeah. Nerve
Interesting.
damage, yeah. I have metal all in my face.
Interesting.
Screws, yeah.
That's very interesting. Is there like a... So you don't want to get choked because you can't feel it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You come.
Well, in certain places I can't, but other
Yeah.
places, I mean, the guy who did it did a great job.
Yeah, that's fucking
Shout out
great,
Dr.
dude.
Hannah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I
Very
had
professional guy.
another reason I decided on it wasn't crazy, but I had reconstructive hip surgery in high school. It was also my sophomore or junior year.
Was that for football?
Yes, I had a torn labrum in my hip from kicking so much.
I had a torn labrum in my shoulder.
Yes, my labrums my body's messed up, but it ended up being a great surgery, full recovery, and then I kept kicking and was going to go to college for it. It was phenomenal, and all the pain went away. It was great. But I have 3 scars because it was an arthroscopic surgery. I have 3 scars, and there was a while around the scars you can't feel the skin because there was all the nerve damage. And he was like, we're still experimenting with scars like vertically or horizontally because it affects the nerve. So he like used me as a lab rat just in terms of the way the scar went. And for years I like would just like scratch and like not feel anything in this region, just on the skin. Like it didn't
back.
Yeah, it didn't affect me at all. It was
No, but
great.
you're like you can feel it now.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that maybe over time I've maybe gotten a little feeling back, and then my scars gotten a little bit better. But I mean, it's been like 4.5 years. Yeah.
But that's great. I mean, if it helped, it helped.
Yeah.
Dude, I just wanted to tell you there. This is all callback. We're just going back. I was just thinking about high school again. But when I applied to colleges, I had to tell, like on my transcript, it said expelled. It said expelled on the transcript. And so the college advisor was like, you shouldn't talk about it. If they want to know about it, then they'll ask. And I'm like, they're going to ask. It says expelled. I got kicked out of school. I'm a normal kid on paper. And then it just says kicked out of school. They're going to fucking ask.
And that was, you went to that new high school just for senior year or like middle of junior year?
Middle of junior year.
And then senior year
So a year and
also.
a half. Yeah. And so I ended up writing my college essay about getting expelled. So the opening sentence of my college essay.
Have you guys heard of the brain?
It was the Urban Dictionary definition of braining. So the first sentence of my college essay was like when you expose your
Brilliant.
scrotum out of your shorts or whatever. And multiple schools, I got accepted into every school I applied to academically. And one of the acceptance letters said, please come be an English major. Your essay was incredible.
No way.
Yeah. And it was just because it was about my ball sack.
Dude, that's a wild story. Because think about how many, bro, I have done the brain and done the goat, done so many times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a matter of whatever, who gets caught doing it.
Yeah.
and
You ever heard of
such.
the elephant where you just pull out just your wiener and you pull the pockets outside of your shorts so it looks like an elephant with the
No,
ears
that's a
in the
good
trunk?
one.
Mine's got a short trunk though, I'll tell you that.
It was cold out.
It was
cold out.
It was a very short trunked elephant, dude. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, man. Dude, Jeffrey, this has been a great episode, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, thank you for having me,
Of course, man. You were a great guest. Before we get out of here, bro, we're going to pop up your Instagram. Let us know where we can find you.
Oh.
And if we can find you on the road too, for some of these plays, where can we look up that
You're
information?
too kind. I'm on Instagram at Jeffrey_Keller, or I'm sure if you just search Jeffrey Keller, I'll come up. And on the road, when is this coming out?
This will be bro, what's today?
Today's the 18th.
Today is Tuesday.
It's the 19th.
This will be up the 21st in 2 days.
Yeah, perfect.
Thursday.
Come see me if you're in Florida. Come see me. Don't Tells on Friday and Saturday on the 22nd and 23rd, and then I'm in Chicago. This will be posted on Instagram, but I'm in Chicago from The 26th to the 30th, I have a bunch of shows there. And then if you want to see me in Jersey Boys, if you're in Auburn, New York in May, come see me in Jersey Boys, baby.
And also in New York City, this guy's performing almost every single night. So catch him. He's a hilarious comedian. We had him on Margarita Monday.
On the first Margarita Monday,
Yes,
which
that's
is
true,
popping
bro.
off.
That was popping off.
Yeah.
But when you're back in the city, we'll get you on another Margarita Monday,
Absolutely,
of
brother.
course. Jeffrey,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Appreciate
Guys,
you, brother.
thanks so much for tuning in. Be careful with the Zins if you do try it.
Yeah,
Okay?
be careful.
We'll see you next time. Peace.